Hello and welcome back to Enlightened Affluence. I'm your host, Candra, author name C.K. Lewis, and I am bringing to you today Michele Regev. She's going to talk about her tutoring business and some other things that she's into. But before we get started, remember this is a channel for entrepreneurs and for dreamers. So if you know what you're doing and you already have a business in place, this is a great place to get resources. People you can network, you may need their services. Also, if you're right on the edge, you're like, I want to start a business, I don't know what to do. This is a place for you to come, see what other people are doing, how we're following our passions and making a living from it. So, Michele, hey!
Thank you so much, Candra, for having me. It's really a pleasure to be here and speak to your audience. You already told them my name, Michele Regev. I am the proud owner of ALL-STAR Tutoring. I just did this business this summer, probably a few months now, so it's a work in progress. It is definitely not easy to have your own business, but I am willing to make the sacrifice and to go all the way because there's no turning back. Once you start, you must go to the finish line and get there. Just a little background on me. I've been a teacher in the classroom, brick and mortar schools, virtual for over 32 years. Wow. Old lady, no, never.
Looking good, girl.
never giving up.
That's right.
I've taught everyone from pre-K to adults. My specialties lie in ESOL, English as a second other language, French, reading comprehension, kindergarten through 5th. I can do kindergarten through 12th, but on that note, I choose not to, only because I have a 16-year-old and she and I work together on essay writing, and let me tell you, it would take weeks for me to do what I do with her on a daily basis. So it's a work in progress. It really is. Every day, you get up and it's different from just going to your 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock job or being in the classroom. And I do miss, a lot of times I miss the hugs and the kisses from the kids and being around them. It's not exactly the same when you're doing Zoom, but I recreate it. I try to make my experiences with the students online as close to being in person as possible. So a little bit about what I do. So if I get on Zoom, or let's go back to the classroom. I forgot to mention, 2014, I became a holistic health coach. And the reason being for that is because having been in the classroom for so many years, I realized that so many of these children were being labeled, yes. ADD, right? Because that's what you do, autistic, just, OCD, all these labels. Mm-hmm. And everyone would say, oh, but that's, the doctor said, let's put them on this drug and let's put them on Ritalin. And right. I tell you, I had children who would throw desks at me, children who did not eat. And they never would once see that it was because the child did not eat anything. They would always attribute it to, oh, it's this label. So basically, I started talking to parents. I started having meetings with these parents, started showing parents how to go food shopping and really what to buy to help these kids.
Yes.
And I even got to the point where I started giving them menus and saying, if you don't want me to come cook in your house, then here's your menu. I want to make sure your child has a good breakfast. Mm-hmm. And it was not an easy thing. Parents fought me tooth and nail, and I still continued. I still pushed through. I saw children not succeeding because of being bullied, obesity. Yes. They were not happy children. And all of that pushed me to further my career into learning about nutrition. I said, there's more to this picture than meets the eye. And I'm
Yes.
not going to sit back and just let everybody give this child a drug. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yep.
My own daughter, just to give you an idea, was severely bullied in 4th grade. And when I took her to the doctor, because she became depressed, when I took her to the doctor, not once did they say it was being bullied. They wanted to stick tubes down her throat to find out, why she's sick, why she feels pain, why. That was when I decided to homeschool my daughter, and I homeschooled her for many years while teaching. I still taught. And I realized it's not about just, oh, here she is, she has a symptom and let's fix it. Here's a Band-Aid. I realized she needed to be home. She needed that extra love and support. And that's when I was able to go in and give her better foods, better nutrition. I was able to teach her more of affirmations, come on, baby, when you get up in the morning, this is the first thing we do. And that's what I actually do today. I'm like, I love myself. Don't forget it. I am in control. And no one can take that away from you. Like whatever affirmation, whatever it is that you feel about yourself, I am beautiful, whatever it is, you have to be able to say it on a daily basis. And just working with my own child who's 16 today, I've realized that you can make a difference in a child, but you have to be there as a parent. And I tell this to all parents or anyone who's raising a child, you need to be there. You cannot say, here's a computer, here's a phone or whatever, gadget they give their child and run away. You can't do that. You need to be the eye. You need, right? And because you're also, our children met like 8 years ago. Yeah. So you of all people know, Candra, you have to be there for them. But I know I'm running off on tangents, but just to say that raising a child, teaching in the classroom, it's no different. I would go in every day with those children who were not receiving the love and the respect that they deserved at home. I would bring in organic, natural, healthy snacks for them so that they could see there is an alternative. They don't have to live with mommy they have to live with mommy, of course, not me. I can't do it all. But they can't just eat, the garbage that they were being fed.
Right.
So showing them alternative, showing them that they are respected and they are loved. And you can do that virtually, by the way, because that's what I do in my own classes daily. I start my classes with stretching sometimes, or every day we do affirmations, a new warrior affirmation. I'm a warrior and I will succeed. And maybe today is the first day I try it, but then we're going to do it again tomorrow. Kids love it. They need it. They need it. I have a 5-year-old. She says to me, Miss Michele, she goes, I am amazing.
I love it.
Yes, I know. I said, yes, you are. And she says to me before I left her house the other day, she goes, Miss Michele. I said, yes, sweetheart. She goes, you are amazing.
Oh,
5.
Oh my goodness.
5. And before I leave my kids on Zoom, I kiss them. I say, I love you. There's no reason to hold those emotions back. Kids need to see it. They need to feel it more than anything. You can say words, but the actions is what's, what means more. So I know you have more questions, so go right ahead.
But that's the big deal right there. And I think that sometimes even when I was in the classroom, I would notice that, kids would be drawn out by, sometimes it was more than just having that conversation or teaching the course. You had to dig into, okay, why are you not getting it? because it's something at home. Why are you? I even, there were times where there was the bully and the bullied. And I remember particularly there was one of my students who was autistic and bilingual, had just immigrated to the United States, and they picked on this child mercilessly. And so what I did was, instead of having a Christmas assignment, I turned it into a cultural thing. Because, and it was so eye-opening to see that these children had no idea who their classmates were. They didn't know what their culture was. They didn't. So through the culture projects, and when he had his project and he came up and he was explaining it, and I had to stand next to him because he was autistic, kind of like Rain Man. And math, forget about it. He could
really
like add us all under the table. And so as we got into it, I started the discussion of how these kids were treating him. And I let him express how it made him feel. And to watch the whole class come up and hug him was amazing. So when you have that holistic thing in there, not only can you change the trajectory of the classroom, we change lives. We change lives. And because we have gone into these different things, we've taken another bully off the street. We've prevented another child from being traumatized. We've, made a partnership in the classroom. And this is like, we're looking at 30, 25, 30 students. This is an amazing thing. But sometimes as I'm like going through, I see that teachers are the bullies sometimes. Like I've had to deal with my son being bullied by his teachers. And you know me, I don't play that.
You and me both.
You don't play that at all.
Well, I had started it in several schools and where I would go in, and I actually became like a motivational speaker that so many of the students would see me in the hallways when I taught middle school. Oh, there's Miss R, she's awesome. They loved that I would come in because they don't have teachers who have time to express this. So what happened was I was teaching in the beginning of each of my classes. I would make sure I gave them that little motivational speech. I'd throw in a few of the foods that they should eat, a few of the affirmations. And that was my morning routine every day. And when the administration got wind of it, well, that was just the worst thing that could ever happen. Why should we teach these children how to love themselves on a mind and have a mind, body, soul connection? Why should we ever do something good for our kids? Wow. All they wanted us to do is teach to the text, teach to the test. And that's one of the reasons I started ALL-STAR Tutoring, so I could have that freedom of expression. I could help students on another level. When I teach from the heart, I teach with passion. I am not just teaching a course. If I'm teaching French, I will add in something to that French course. We might just get up and start stretching, or we might do a few affirmations. Maybe we'll translate them into French, whatever it is. I am teaching to the core of that student. If that child is having difficulty during my class, whether it be via Zoom or in person, I'll say, hey, let's just take a minute and breathe. Let's breathe, let's do a quick meditation. Let's imagine we're on the beach, and it just takes away their whole stress level. Yes. Learning, as you know, can be very stressful for some children and adults. And you nor I are we here to add more stress to anyone's life. Yes. Myself included. I mean, nobody needs more stress. We have enough in this world.
Have enough, exactly. And it makes them look forward to, getting that positive energy from you. And it's an all around thing. And it makes us actually more valuable. It makes you a more valuable tutor because you are reinforcing the lesson, but the lesson can't be reinforced if the student is tense. And that's what's missing in the school. It's like, how are you going to test a kid if they don't know it? So why not let us teach so that they know it, and they have the skills to, make sure that they're using, their context clues, and they're using, where they can get rid of answers they don't need, and all these different things, and they can relax and test taking skill, all these different things, relaxation, breathing is so, like, when you bring out
I
breathing
do
is
that,
so
right?
important.
In my class all the time, we did our daily meditations. There was one day I remember I said to the kids, put your desks on the side. We're not going to have desks today. We're
Yeah.
going to sit on our mats. We had yoga mats in my classroom. And the principal walked by and just gave me that glare, like, what is she doing? But you know what? Kids love coming to my room.
Yes.
They would see me from other classes in the hallway and tell, that's Ms. R. Because the little kids actually spoke too to each other, Oh, we do stretching, we do yoga. They were bragging. I'm like, don't brag, but they like it. It brings joy to their little hearts, and it makes them grow up to be better adults, calmer. The problem in our world today is that no one's calm.
Yes.
You can get through traffic.
Oh
When
man.
I drive, I'm pretty calm, and I drive a sports car. So just to let you know, and I'm not a fast driver. I'm not. And it's so funny because another speedy, sports car will come alongside thinking I'm about to race them, right? And I just back up. I think this is hilarious. And I go even slower because then they're like confused. Well, why isn't she
Yes.
racing? I have no desire to race. I'm very calm. I have a lot of energy, but there's no reason to race.
Yeah, I'll get there. I will get there, and I will enjoy when I get to my destination. I may want to, see some things along the way. It's like, just calm down, just,
People
and
can't calm down.
they can't. And it's like driving down and coming down here from New York and driving in this. I'm like, people think, New York is insane. No, New York is fast with a pattern. What's going on out here? I don't know. I don't know.
Anyone driving on the 95, I mean,
Mm.
you need like eyes all over your head, it's a scary place.
It's a very scary place. I'm like, yeah, I'll take that, FDR any day over.
Oh, I'm a New Yorker, so as you can
Yes.
see, right, you can't, as if you couldn't hear it, right?
Is
But
oh no.
yeah, I mean, I grew up with, even back then, even in my 20s, I never drove crazily, I was always safe, but you can be safe and you never know who's around the corner. So
Honey, three times rear-ended in down here on these roads down here. I'm driving safe, and they're just like, yeah. Hello.
yeah, I hear you. Me too, twice.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness, Candra.
Like,
But
going into that
unfortunately, we can't fix the whole world, but maybe we can just fix a small portion of it.
one brick at a time.
One brick at a time. And it's not a brick and mortar, I'll tell you that.
A whole lot. But going back to, like, you and speaking to all this is what we all encounter being entrepreneurs. This is an every day, from what we have to put out there, and what sets us apart, from other people who are doing the same thing we're doing. It's our heart, it's our conviction. And then, like, putting everything together. So putting that business together and everything, and going out, and you just did this a couple months ago, just jumped into it and everything. So as you're going through and you're speaking to other entrepreneurs now who are like, you know what, do I just give up? And I love what you said in the beginning, like, nope, once you're in it, you're in it. You can't give up. What gives you that drive when it's like, when things are going rough and, business is up and down and you're trying to project and cover everything you have to? What keeps you going?
Well, I'm in it to win it, as I told you. And I just know that I will succeed. In my heart of hearts, I know. That doesn't mean that I don't have days where I doubt myself, but then I bring myself back. My biggest thing is surrounding myself with positive people. And if I see I'm speaking to a neighbor and they're a little on the negative side, thank you very much. Have a nice day. And I walk on.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, when I'm stressed, and yes, I do get stressed, I take my dog for a walk. I have a beautiful 2-year-old golden doodle. I have 5 animals. Shh, don't tell anybody. I'm an animal lover, and so they keep me going too. But I take my dog for a walk. I put my podcast on. It's either a spiritual podcast or a motivational speaker or someone who's talking about how to eat properly. And if anyone's interested, I can give you a detailed list later if you'd like.
Mhm.
But I listen to those podcasts religiously.
Yes.
And I know if other people can do it, there's no reason that I can't do it. And I keep that in my brain every day. And when I do my affirmations in the morning with my students, I'm like, I can do it. And when I say I can do it,
Mhm.
I'm talking about myself.
Yes.
I don't do the affirmations just for them. Shh, don't tell them that either. But I do it to remind myself. There's no reason that I can't. I'm college graduate. I've studied my entire life and I was able to always do it. What would make me think I cannot do it now? So, before I even get out of my bed in the morning, I do my yoga stretches. I do my breathing and I pray. I do pray. I pray to God. I pray to my spiritual guides. I pray to whomever will listen, but I pray. And I don't only pray in the morning, I pray throughout my day. And so I sound like I'm talking to myself, but I'm not crazy.
Aren't we
So,
all?
no, but I do verbalize
Mhm.
what I'm thinking. And I know whomever is listening, whoever you believe in, that's fine. Whatever religion you have, that's fine. I'm very open-minded to all. So I just know that I am going to make it. It's a feeling that I have in my heart and I don't give up. So I do my breathing, I do my meditations, I do my yoga, I listen to podcasts while walking. If I'm really sitting at the computer or studying and I just feel like I'm antsy and I can't, I take a little break. It's okay. You don't need to sit and glue yourself to the chair 24/7. Learn how to say no sometimes. That no is a big one. Whether it's someone asking you to do something that you really don't have time for, and you want to say yes, just say no. Because in your heart of hearts that it's going to distract you from what your main focus should be on. So I say no if I have to, and I say no to myself. No, you're not doing this right now. You're not feeling it. Go walk. Take a walk. Take your wheatgrass juice. People are looking and hearing me like I'm nuts. But yeah, I go. I make
It is real.
wheatgrass. I'm giving you my remedies, spinach, and I put a little bit of coconut water in there, sometimes a frozen banana. I blend it up and I drink that. That gives me more energy than anything. So yeah, just learn something new. Like if you're focused so much on your business, and this happens to me, I'm researching how do I get more clients? Like
Yes.
we were talking about the funnel, and I'm researching and I'm studying, and all of a sudden I say, you know what? This is just, I can't. My brain's about to explode,
Yes.
right? Yes. So I get up. I
Yes.
actually am looking outside my window where I could see like the world. That's a big plus. I have to see nature. So I get up and I'll either walk the dog or even take her to like a forest and take a forest walk. Sometimes just connecting with nature for me makes even if it's an hour, I come back rejuvenated.
Yes.
It's just a beautiful thing. Just say no to other things that, are weighing heavily, move
Right.
away from the computer and take a break. Sometimes like you like to cook. I also like to cook. Yeah.
We need
And
to do that together. We need
okay,
to do that
that'd be fun.
together, especially with the book being out. I would love to like get with
Okay.
you. We make a video of us cooking together and
Okay.
everything so that people can see like how freeing it
Fun.
is and
Yes,
fun and
it's
freeing to
fun.
be able to create in the kitchen. And so we're gonna do that.
Because I enjoy, coming up and people say, oh my goodness, like, what do you make? I can take anything in my fridge and just put it together and it's a meal. I mean, maybe I'm the only one who thinks it's good. I don't know, but I think it's good.
If baby girl is eating it, and let me tell you, and I've had like several kids come over here, and I love a challenge. Oh, I don't eat vegetables. I don't do this. I don't do that. Great. Here's lunch. They're hanging out with my son. Here's lunch, and they're eating it, tearing it up. You're like, oh, this is good. Yeah, there's no meat in it. It's all vegetable. Now, what do you don't eat again? What did you say?
Yeah, I'm going through that with my daughter's friend right now. He says he's a Wolverine and he won't eat any greens. Or one day I picked him up from his basketball glass and I brought him a smoothie. And I said, how does it taste? And it had wheatgrass and spinach, but I didn't make it look green, hopefully he's not watching this video. So I put some really good proteins and he's like, wow, this is really good. I'm like, you think? How's McDonald's sounding now? Do you want McDonald's? And he's like, no, this is pretty good. So they don't know. And when you teach them, or do it secretly in the beginning, because that's what I'm working on. It's a whole new world. I mean, can you imagine if everyone ate healthy, the diseases would not exist, or
and the industry would have to be more natural. They wouldn't be able to give us all these chemicals. Nobody would be buying it. You got to hit them in the pocket.
Yeah.
Hit them in the pocket, because if it's not making the money, and what a lot of people don't realize is they put those ingredients in so that we crave what they have.
Of course. And
you
wrote
detox your tongue and
I'm all on it. I'm all on it, Candra. I know. When I go food shopping, I just took a couple food shopping because, that's the other thing that I do in my health coaching business, because I piggyback the two, as a holistic health coach. So I do that as well. I took a couple food shopping at Costco and it was so funny. I thought the woman was going to hit me over the head with a bag of rice. Because I was going aisle by aisle and I was explaining the ingredients and what you should buy and what you shouldn't buy and why you should and why you shouldn't. And she and her husband were looking at each other, go, so we really can't eat anything? I should have videotaped it. It was so funny. But she was so grateful. She's like, well, when are you coming to cook? Because that's what I do. So I take people food shopping at the supermarket. I give them a tour. And then I'll go to your house and I'll actually show you how to prepare it. Because some people they're like, if it's not in a bag or a box, they don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know. It's very sad. We live in, sometimes I wonder, I look in people's carts and I'm going, really?
Right.
There's not one vegetable in there, really?
Not one. Not one.
Mind blowing.
Yeah. And they think I'm like, do you think we're not supposed to eat it? Because we're kind of like, part of the earth. So why would we not like eat?
God made it, eat it. If it's in a box, throw it out. That's it. Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine. And we need to follow that. But people have forgotten. That's why diseases are so rampant, because people have forgotten how to do that. Or they never knew. They just grew up like that.
And
but our grandparents, in your book, how your grandparents lived, that was the way to live.
Yes. Yes. And they taught us and we're passing it on. And, I love when I can see, like the other day, I was working just like on it, like getting everything. I was on a roll and I was just so tired. And Caden came out and he's like, so I'm going to cook. I was like, yeah, okay. And he went in there and he cooked it up. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's so good, And it was me, and it was, he's been watching me like do things with like different vegan burgers and things like that. Oh yeah, I love it. And I know that like when he's off on his own, that he'll be able to,
our kids are the same age, so I'm also going.
You look at him.
It's like when my kid was your son's age. I think they were like 8 when they met.
7 and 8, yeah.
7, 8. And I always said I would trust my daughter in a supermarket with anybody,
Yeah.
because when she and I would go shopping, if a person would ask me a question, I would allow her to answer why you shouldn't buy that. And it would just blow my mind. But she learned from me, you
Yes.
know.
And she will take
So
with
they
her.
do.
She will
They
help you
learn.
grow. And
They
they,
learn.
oh my God, it's just so, oh, I love how they're growing into wonderful adults, and they're watching us. Like he wants to, he wants to work for himself. He wants to have his own production company. He wants to, do his own thing. And my thing now, I'm like, okay, so he's graduating this year. And I'm like, well, why you have to wait? Like, you're 16,
Exactly.
mommy's doing, you want to do it now. Like he's learning about NFTs and crypto and things like that. And just they watch us, any entrepreneurial parent out there, the kids are watching. And
Empower them,
yeah,
Kendra. And that's what we need more of in this world. We need parents who will empower their children to
yes,
be even better than themselves.
exactly.
That's my goal.
And
So,
way better, and not have to, like, find yourself like later on, like if he knows what he wants now and she knows what she wants now, like really just give them, that support, that one thing, and I'm very, very grateful. My father is, he's still here, and he's probably one of my biggest cheerleaders. Me and my sisters are all branching out onto different things. My sister has her clothing line um, and manifestation line with Endowed, and my other sister is a naturopathic doctor, opening
nice.
up clinics, and my older sister is her non-for-profit and things like that. So my dad, everywhere he goes, if he doesn't have the product on him, he's like, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing it. He's like the biggest, and I interviewed him for the channel because it was like, you need your community to cheer you on. You
Yes.
need your community to cheer you on. And we all have to, like, I'm loving the fact that, enlightened affluence is starting to catch on, because it's like, we come in and, there's different people doing different things, but, people are plugging in, checking in and saying, oh, okay, do I need, this person for financial advice? Do I need this person for, and what do I need to look for? And when they come in and they watch this video, they're going to know, like, I need to make sure that I'm not just looking for subject matter. If my kid's really going to soar, my tutor for my child needs everything. He needs someone who cares. All-Star Tutoring brings that. I bring that. We're like minds. So it's like when your kids, if you have a student that will look at you and tell you that you are amazing, they're getting it, and that child is taking that, they're not just getting that English lesson. They're not just getting that language lesson. They're getting a life lesson where
Bingo.
that baby is going to grow up to know that she can do anything. Not only is she going to master your course, but she's going to master so many other things. And that's what parents need to be looking
I
for.
got goosebumps when you said that, because it's so true. That's what I want. That's my passion, is to get that life lesson to these kids.
And that's what we
Their
need
kids
more of.
are amazing.
Yep. And parents need to be willing to invest in that. When you're investing into more, it's not just about, the free things. They need to be willing to consult and invest, and that's the major thing, because when more parents consult and invest, then it gives us that money energy, that money power to even build up even more and be able to offer even more to our students, even more, to us, because it's an interchange and it's an exchange and everything. So as we're closing out this interview, because we're gonna cook, we're gonna get together, we need to get together and cook and put that on the video so they can see, like, this is what creating can get you, and everything. But as we're closing out, I'm gonna give you the final word, and everyone, when you see this video, you'll check in the memo below. You have a contact information, website, So you can consult if you're in the South Florida area, right? What areas do you cover in South Florida when it comes to the shopping and?
Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. I do Zoom, I do in person. I also do classes via Zoom worldwide, nationwide. So I'm all over.
Okay.
All over.
So they'll be able to see like the tutoring being available globally when they check on you, and then like the 3 counties is for the in-person shopping and things like that. And
Right, if they need me in person and I have to drive, those are the 3 counties, yes.
okay, awesome. So I'm going to let you have the last word and take us out. Speaking to our entrepreneurs, anything that you have, words of encouragement, words of affirmation for people who are out there trying to make it happen.
Don't give up. We are all in this together. We need to network together and empower one another so that we can all be successful. It's not a competition. And that's what I want people to understand. I support you just as much as you support me. I'm not a jealous person. If you are successful, I will be maybe even more successful. That will be successful together. And I also want to say on a final note, Candra, that if I can appeal to the parents, if you need help empowering your children, please don't hesitate, because I'm here to help you help your child to succeed and become a shining star. Candra, I love you. Thank you so much for having me on. And I look forward to cooking with you, maybe your son too.
Yeah, we get the kids together.
We're gonna get our kids together. We should. It's been
Oh
quite
my
some time.
goodness. Yeah, it'll
And
be.
all the best of luck to you as well. Much success to you.
Oh,
You're
you
a
too.
powerhouse. You're a
Thank
powerhouse.
you. You too, Mama. You too. All right, everyone, check us out. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Ciao, ciao.